Hello everyone, I am Brian James. Welcome back to TrendWave TV. It is so good to have you here again. Breaking now. Trump's tariffs ruled unlawful, Kamala Harris loses her Secret Service detail, a federal judge blocks fast-track deportations, and Senator Bernie Sanders says RFK Jr. must resign after a CDC meltdown. Plus, a shocking school shooting in Minneapolis, a $1 billion Powerball jackpot, the lowest Labor Day gas in years, and a lawsuit that could finally bring justice for 9/11 families. And yes, the internet went wild with a false claim. Trump is dead. Stay tuned. We'll separate fact from rumor, politics from policy, and bring this home to you, the diaspora. Let's begin. Court smacks down. Trump's global tariffs. A 7-4 appeals court has ruled that President Trump's sweeping global tariffs are unlawful. Why? Because the law he invoked, meant for national emergencies, doesn't clearly authorize tariffs. For now, these tariffs remain until October 14th, as the White House prepares a Supreme Court appeal. Supporters say tariffs protect American workers in steel, aluminum, and manufacturing. Critics say they raise consumer prices and spark trade wars. And the ruling doesn't just impact the U.S. Caribbean exporters of aluminum, sugar, and rum also watch closely, since tariff shifts could make or break export markets. This is a classic clash, nationalism versus globalization. Will the Supreme Court give Trump the green light? Or will consumers get cheaper goods at the cost of American jobs? Trump revokes Kamala Harris's Secret Service detail. In a move raising eyebrows nationwide, Trump has ended extended Secret Service protection for former VP Kamala Harris. Normally, ex-VPs get 6 months of coverage. Harris had a special extension under Biden. That ends September 1st. Democrats say this leaves her vulnerable amid record threats to public figures. Republicans counter that she no longer qualifies. For Caribbean audiences, Harris is not just a politician, she's the daughter of a Jamaican father. This fuels a sense of connection, and many in the diaspora see it as more than politics. It's about protecting one of our own. The California Highway Patrol will fill the gap, but questions linger. What does this say about Trump's political strategy, and what precedent does it set for using security as a political tool? Judge blocks fast-track deportations. A federal judge has struck down Trump's expansion of expedited removals, a policy that would have allowed the U.S. government to deport immigrants without hearings if they couldn't prove 2 years of continuous residence. For immigrant-heavy communities, Miami, New York, Atlanta, this ruling offers breathing room. Families with mixed status, including many Jamaicans, feared routine encounters, like traffic stops, could trigger deportation without legal recourse. The ruling stresses the Constitution's protection of due process. The administration promises to appeal. But for now, the diaspora can breathe a sigh of relief, at least temporarily. CDC meltdown and AMP, RFK Jr. under fire, the U.S. public health system is in turmoil. The ousting of CDC Director Susan Manaras, followed by mass resignations, triggered a political firestorm. Senator Bernie Sanders is now calling for Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to resign, accusing him of undermining trust in vaccines and public health. RFK Jr., once known for anti-vaccine activism, insists he's restoring accountability. But critics say his leadership is costing credibility when Americans most need clear health guidance. For Caribbean nations, many of which depend on U.S. health policy signals, this matters deeply. Vaccine hesitancy, public trust, and aid programs are influenced by what happens in Washington. The question, can the U.S. maintain global health leadership while its own agencies are in crisis? Trump slashes $4.9 billion in foreign aid. President Trump has notified Congress he's freezing nearly $5 billion in foreign aid, targeting State Department and USAID programs. Critics call it unconstitutional budget hijacking. Supporters call it smart, spend at home first. For smaller nations like Jamaica, which often benefit from USAID programs in education, agriculture, and disaster relief, this cut could have ripple effects. Already, Caribbean leaders are voicing concern. What happens if U.S. aid disappears during hurricane season? This is more than politics. It's a signal to allies. In Trump's America First era, global partnerships may no longer be guaranteed. Trump is dead rumor goes viral yesterday. Social media erupted with #Trump is dead trending across X and TikTok. Fueled by conspiracy edits and wild speculation, millions shared the rumor. Hours later, Trump was spotted golfing in Virginia. Alive, well, and smiling. It's a lesson in how quickly misinformation spreads and how dangerous it can be. Diaspora communities on WhatsApp know this too well. Rumors can divide families and spread panic across oceans. The truth, Trump is alive. The bigger story, America is struggling with fake news epidemics that rival the real ones. Minneapolis Catholic School. Shooting. A tragedy in Minneapolis. 2 children dead, 18 injured in a shooting at Annunciation Catholic School during a mass. Families held candlelight vigils. Community leaders are demanding increased security at religious schools. For Jamaicans in the diaspora, church is more than faith. It's community, culture, and safety. Seeing children gunned down in a house of worship hits painfully close. Leaders nationwide are debating, should federal security grants cover not just synagogues and mosques, but Catholic schools and churches too? For many grieving tonight, the answer is yes. Powerball jackpot hits $1 billion. The Powerball jackpot is officially at $1 billion, 5th largest in history. Cash option, $453 million. Lines at gas stations are out the door. Social media is filled with, "What would you do with $1 billion?" memes. For diaspora communities, this sparks dreaming too. What could $1 billion do for Jamaica's schools, hospitals, and communities? Even though odds are 1 in 292 million, the fantasy fuels hope. One thing is certain, on Labor Day all eyes were on the drawing. Cheapest Labor Day gas. Since 2020, travelers rejoice. Labor Day gas prices are averaging $3.15 per gallon, the cheapest since 2020. 15 states are under $3. For Caribbean Americans driving to family barbecues or holiday trips, that means more money stays in your pocket. Experts credit high supply, lower demand, and efficient refining. But they warn, one hurricane could change everything. For now, holiday joy comes with a little relief at the pump. 9/11, family's lawsuit moves forward. Nearly 24 years later, a federal judge ruled families of 9/11 victims can sue Saudi Arabia, rejecting claims of immunity. Families allege Saudi officials aided 2 early hijackers. The kingdom denies any link. For the Caribbean diaspora, many of whom lost loved ones in the Twin Towers, this ruling is deeply personal. It's about accountability, healing, and closure. This case could reshape the U.S.-Saudi relations, and finally, after 2 decades, give families their day in court. From courtrooms and controversies to billion-dollar dreams and community heartbreak, these headlines shape America, the Caribbean, and the world. If this report gave you insight, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to TrendWave News TV. Drop a comment below, what story touched you most? And click the links in our description to access exclusive products and vital resources. Stay informed, stay connected, and remember, TrendWave brings you the news that matters.